Alto Hotel is a small boutique apartment hotel located right in the centre of the city. We provide high quality 4-star accommodation, but we try and do that in the most sustainable way possible. We could foresee that this was the best way to do business, and it was from an ethical point of view, it was felt it was the right way to do business. But there's also a great financial reason to come along in this direction as well, because there actually are financial savings that can be made over the medium to long term. But certainly over a 2 or 3 year period, you're actually running a more financially effective business as well. At the time we started the program, there were no regulations. However, we could envisage that it may not be too long into the future that there may be regulations that came into place. So we wanted to try and think ahead and actually plan for those contingencies rather than have them suddenly enforced on us and then have to go through a very expensive retrofit of the building. Being a heritage listed building, we certainly had a number of challenges in trying to obviously maintain that integrity of the built structure, at the same time making it as modern and energy efficient as possible. We have a total of 28 staff at the hotel. We do staff training in energy efficiency overall, and they'll actually be taken through our entire environmental program and explain what we do at the hotel and their role in achieving that as well. It really started off on a small scale, and we've added lots and lots of initiatives from there. The start is really to make the rooms as insulated as possible and try to to lessen the need to use energy. The floors have a layer of Regapol, which is a recycled car tyre, and that helps insulate between floors and ceilings, but doesn't. It's not a particularly high material, so we don't have to have a metre or two between each floor. So using low energy light globes, so things like LED globes that use as little as 4 watts of energy in some cases. All of our other lighting is complex fluorescence, usually somewhere between 8 and 15 watts of energy as well. Some of the ways that we help the guests control their energy use is by using a key card that the guests have to insert into a switch on the wall, so that when they arrive into the room it turns on the energy, and of course when they leave it also turns out, particularly the lighting throughout. Air conditioning and heating is all individual split units, and the reason for that is that rather than having a central system that's running 24/7 or running all day, it only is turned on for that particular room for the times that they need it. And to add into that, there's also a movement sensor built into it. So even if a guest does accidentally leave the air conditioning on, if this system senses that there's no one in the room or little movement, it runs in economy mode, which uses even less energy. Double glazed windows are really important because it's one area where you can actually lose a lot of heat or gain a lot of heat into a building, which increases the insulation quality. In our case though, we've also actually made sure that those windows, even though they're double glazing, they can still be open so you can get fresh air into the room, which is important from just a general health and well-being point of view, but also so you can use that external passive air to heat or cool the room. Green glass has a reflective coating on the outside so that when there's a strong sunlight, it will actually help reflect some of the heat rather than absorbing and letting that pass through. It's actually our north and northwest facing windows, so those are the most directly exposed to sunlight. We've selected, when we built the hotel, equipment that was more energy efficient than the norm, just so that when that equipment is being used, it's using less energy. We're in a program currently of installing new LED TVs. They make a nice visual appearance, but one of the biggest drivers is their energy consumption, probably somewhere in the vicinity of 30 to 40% less energy than a standard LCD style of screen, which we currently have in place. And so we just see that as a great benefit to help the hotel from a customer service point of view, which is our primary goal, but also from an energy consumption as well. Computers do certainly chew up a bit of power, and they're essential in running almost any business, and particularly a hotel that's open 24 hours a day. So again, with our appliances, we've looked at computers that have a low energy consumption. We've also set all of our hotel computers to a low power mode, whereby they'll go into hibernation, turn off screens and those things within a relatively short period of time. And they'll also have a policy that when administrative staff go home, that they actually turn their computer and shut them down completely. We have an electric car at the hotel in conjunction with Go Get share cars, And the idea of that is a guest can borrow for a very small fee the 100% electric car, which is recharged from 100% renewable energy. So therefore, effectively, they're driving around in a carbon neutral status. The power at the hotel here is generated from 100% renewables, which effectively means, in Victoria at least, predominantly from wind power. But there is also energy coming from hydro stations, as well as a small amount of solar energy. So 100% of our energy comes from areas that there is no carbon output produced in creating that electricity. We submit all of our energy data to a program called Earthwatch, and they assess that and give us back a report on the amount of energy that we have used at the hotel, as well as what the average hotel is using on a global basis, as well as their benchmark that they would like most hotels to achieve. With the EarthCheck program, and what we do with that is actually we make, basically it's a calculation on total energy, total number of guests, gives us an average of energy used per guest. We look at it month by month so we can make corrective measures along the way. We have done a rudimentary cost-benefit analysis on our electricity usage. We estimate we're saving around $24,000 per annum compared to a comparable hotel of a similar size and nature. Certainly the way that we use our energy efficiency or how we've achieved that, we use it very strongly in our marketing message now. Something else that's quite impressive is that of all those people who've stayed at the hotel, 90% have said the environmental program is one of the reasons they would return to the hotel. We always have to look at any of our programs and say, well, what's the impact on our guests? And secondly, what's the impact financially to the hotel? And then thirdly, of course, what's the impact on the environment?